All right, welcome back, welcome back. We got a 2020 Cadillac Escalade, 6.2 liter engine, got the infamous GM tap. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start, well, our first inspection, we just wanted to see if we had anything, bad up top in the cylinder head as far as our push rods and everything go, and our rockers, and that is not the case. So we know these lifters are bad, these followers are bad. We're gonna start by getting the intake manifold off, get these other valve cover off. We're gonna dig into this one. All right, during the diagnostic procedure, we always like to take the valve cover off and let these things run, just so we can check for oil delivery. You can see all the oil coming up through the push rod, so we know we're getting oil delivery. From that to the back cylinder, you kind of see the same thing. All right, noise is definitely on this side. All right, we got a very interesting find here. Check what we found out on cylinder number 7. We got a bent push rod. Why that bent? That is the $1 million question. We got to figure that out. Here's the situation. Pretty much that push rod bent for a reason. Either we got a bad follower that didn't collapse when it's supposed to have, or it's hung up some kind of way in the bore. Solenoid being bad. We have to keep going and take this thing apart until we find the cause of the failure. Come back for the next part. We have part 2 of the Cadillac Escalade that had the bent push rod. We have an intake manifold off. Valve cover on this side. We're going to keep moving. We're going to get this valve cover off, have our accessories removed, and we're going to get these heads up and out the way. All right, so we have both of our exhaust manifolds removed from this engine. The next step is going to be to actually get our head bolts removed, so we can remove both cylinder heads. Then we can take a better look at what's under here, see what went wrong. All right, here we go. We're at part 3 of the Cadillac Escalade 2015 that had the bent push rod and the engine was tapping. Now it looks like it's turning into body work. Well, it's not. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do the DOD delete. We're gonna actually upgrade this engine so this problem don't happen no more. So we have to get the cam out at this point. So in order to get the cam out, we have to remove this cam from inside the engine. We're going to have to get the radiator support and everything moved out the way so we can access that. And that is what's coming up next. All right, so here we go. We got our radiator removed, our front clip removed, our radiator support. Now we can really work with ease. This is how we like to do these right here. We can step into the unit and just get all this done. At this point, we have our water pump artery removed and our cam is below here. We're going to get our cam out. We are moving right along. All right, let me show you exactly where we're at. We have the plate removed here from the top of the engine. We have our accessories removed. We have our timing gear removed, cam gear, I should say. Let's come over to the engine and see what we look like right here. Alex actually in the middle of removing the cam. Sometimes these things are fight to come out. Gonna give it a little twist. This one's gonna come out nice and smooth. Or since we're recording it, nice and easy. And we are on our way. So far, like I said, most of the cam's looking good. We'll come back and see. Oh, here we go. Come on. There we go. Cam is out. All right. I'm gonna check the bearings and we'll let you know. I want you guys to check back for part. Probably going about 6 or 7 parts on this. This here is what it looked like, including some stuff down there. While we're killing some time, we're actually going to start getting these valves cleaned to get this thing back together. All right, I'll see you at the next part. All right, here we go for part 4, I believe this is, on the 2015 Cadillac Escalade that we are doing the DOD delete. If you recall, we had a bent push rod on this engine. Our kit has arrived. Let me show you the meat and gravy, or the meat and bones of this job here. We have a new cam that's about to get installed. This kit obviously comes with new lifters. We got a full set of push rods and just all necessary hardware, the buckets that the lifters go in, all new set of hardware and gaskets to get this job done. So the next thing we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get this cam installed and get this timing chain and everything set back up. Let's do it. We're going to start with this cam install. It's kind of a slow process, a little at a time. And then we're going to need some support at the end, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I'll show you guys up top here. You can see this cam slowly getting worked in. to exactly where it's supposed to be, and we are in.
Good morning.
Spinning around right now to double check our timing marks. Everything is actually operating smoothly, and we kind of mark before we come out. We'll come back up the top here, center there. Timing mark there is lined up at 12, and number one piston is up. We're perfect. All right, so here we go. Next step, we're gonna get our lifters installed. Like I said, we're doing a delete kit. This here is the problem. These lifters right here go bad. You see, they have this spring at the end of the lifter. You have the new one right here. That is eliminated. That way these vehicles have no more problems with the lifters and the push rods going bad. It's called a DOD delete. So we got our 4 lifters right here. We already got this side here. They go into this bucket. We have them on both sides of the engines. Let's get it installed. We're gonna get our other bucket and get it installed. We like to soak them in oil beforehand, and then we just drop them in. We're nicely building this. We're gonna bolt them in, come back for the next part. All right, so here we go. We got this 1 cylinder head on here. We have our new head gasket. Now what we're gonna slowly, come right here, we're gonna slowly drop this cylinder head on. We're actually making pretty good time on this job right here. We went right on the dowel pins, perfect. We're gonna get our head bolts installed, and we're gonna get them torqued down. Actually, in the middle of torquing the head bolts, we had our second stage of torque, which is actually 90 degrees. Bring it back down, and we'll go on 90-degree torque on the cylinder head bolt. The first torque sequence was 59 pounds. Second torque is 90 degrees. The third torque stage is 60 degrees. So we just torqued all these head bolts to 90. Now we're about to go 60. And then we're gonna come over here and do the same thing. Okay, I'm not gonna bore you guys torquing this head over here. It's the same procedure. Like I said, first step is 59 foot-pounds. How we keep up, we mark our bolts. The first stage, we'll mark one color. Second stage, 60 foot-pounds. We'll mark that another color. And then, 90 degrees. And then the next stage is 60 degrees. That's how we keep up and we don't lose track. All right, come back for the next part. All right, so here we go. This is gonna be the last and final chapter of the 2015 Cadillac Escalade that we replaced the cam. And we did the lifters, DOD, we did a delete here. What we're doing at this point, we're actually getting exhaust manifolds mounted on both sides of the engine. Easiest way of doing it is removing both wheel arch liners and going through the side. As we get both exhaust manifolds mounted, this one is already mounted. We're gonna mount the cap back there, and we're gonna come back up top. And what we're gonna do at that point, we're gonna build the top. All right, exhaust manifolds are on. New push rods are installed. And we have our rockers on this side going in. Let's speed this up. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving. We are building. We got an intake manifold back on top of the engine. We have our valve covers and our spark plugs and ignition coils installed. We have our push rods torqued down. We got 2 belts on, and let's get this accessory back on. We'll get this thing fired up by the end of the day. All right, we're still building this thing. Almost got the front clip back together. Look at the size of this radiator shutters on this vehicle here. All right, I want you guys to stick with me. We have both of our headlamps installed. Only thing we're missing is the front bumper. We actually have our cooling system under vacuum. That way it assures we have no leaks. We're holding vacuum nicely. We can see our radiator holds us upper and lower are sucked in. We're gonna add coolant. We already got oil. Get this front clip back on. We're gonna get this thing fired up. All right, we have our front clip back on, and we are actually about to fire this thing up. I'm excited. All right, here we go. We are at the end of this one. Guys can take a listen. We have everything back together under the hood of the vehicle. This vehicle was running perfectly. Now, how we know it's running perfectly, come over here to our misfire counters. These are all our current misfire counters, cylinders 1 through 8, and we have no misfires on none of the cylinders. Let's get the hood on, take this thing for a test drive. Another important thing to point out, we had to get our powertrain control module reprogrammed for the DOD AFM delete kit that we did. We send that out while we was rebuilding the engine. All right, that's how she sounds. Any of your car care needs, major engine work, transmission work, come see us.